We just cooped in at the Garrison Arena in South Carolina, and the show starts tomorrow. Day 2 of the South Carolina show.
I'm currently in 2 clubs, the Rhode Island Red of America Club and also the Moran's Chicken Club USA Club. I'm actually the current president of that club.
What do you raise?
I raise a few varieties, breeds and varieties. The Moran, I have like 6 different varieties. One of my favorites, of course, the Rhode Island Red, and I recently picked up some Barred Rocks, and I also have some Rhode Island Whites there in the background, some that I'm working on a little bit.
So what do you look for in Rhode Island Reds?
What do I look for in the birds? The Rhode Island Red is basically known for its brick shape. And if you take a side view of the bird, like for example in a cage or even just in the yard or whatnot, you want to see that distinct brick. From front to back, you want a nice long back, you want a nice tight bottom line, but you want to be able to see that brick. He's a nice wide bird. You don't want narrow birds. The other thing that people miss a lot on these birds is the width of the legs. You can feel here, to see the keel bone as well. But again, there's 2 parts to this. The first part is kind of looking at it like at home. I'll take and just watch them as they interact in their natural environment. You can kind of see the type. You see how the fluid of how they move or whatnot. You look for the leg spacing. You want a balanced bird. And again, never forget the brick shape. Also, when you pick one up, you want it to be dense. You want it to have some meat to it. These are dual purpose birds, so you want a good carcass. and obviously decent egg production. For show, we don't worry about as much as that as we probably should, but those are important aspects of the actual breed. Another thing that a lot of people don't look at, and something that some of my mentors have shared with me, is you want to make sure that these colors on these wings kind of get as close as you can to the dark on the back there. This one's actually fairly decent. The other thing that you want to look at is this right here. You want this to be black. It doesn't have to be solid black, but you want a good portion of that to be black and not red. The larger part, of course, red. You want to avoid any peppering like this. All this stuff is just breeding practices, you know.
I like this guy. All right. It's all right, guy.
And what do you feed your birds?
I like to use a local feed out of Georgia. It's FRM. I like it because it's a well-balanced feed. It's got all the nutrients, minerals, and everything that I think the birds need. I like the things like the marigold and the alfalfa extract that it's got in there that kind of helps with these yellowing of the legs. It's a great feed. I feed it from chicks on up. I'll start them with a chick starter, and then I'll switch them over to the feed that I use. It's a Show Gold series. It's a great feed. I don't supplement with anything else other than maybe some vitamins here and there.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you again.
Sure, no problem. Here you go.
So how did today's show go?
That show went very smooth. We had a lot of new exhibitors. It was just awesome to see a lot of new exhibitors come here. As far as exhibitors, that's one of the best exhibitors classes we've had in a long, long time. I think we ended up having 75 between the junior and the open. And the number of the birds was down a little bit, but the exhibitors up. So that gives me a lot of hope that we're doing the right thing here.
How many birds was there today?
But between the junior and the open, there was probably 640. We had some late ads, so I don't have an exact number, but somewhere in that neighborhood.
I thought it was cool that y'all auctioned a knife for someone in need to raise money.
Yes, this gentleman would have been here today, but he ended up, he found out he had cancer this week. So between we auctioned off that knife about 5 or 6 different knives, and then it was a donation gift to the Satterfield. So it was a little over $1,000 raised for him. So I'll be sending him some money soon.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you and putting up the show.
Oh, no problem. I enjoyed it. Thank you.